Hello friends, welcome to the part 2 of previous video. We was discussing the top leaders of ancient history. Today we will tell you the remaining leaders in our list. Throughout history, there have been hundreds of well-known and effective leaders. However, perhaps the most able ones can be found not from examining modern history, but by looking back into the throes of ancient times. Cyrus the Great. Perhaps less celebrated than the others, Cyrus the Great was the founder of the Achaemenid Empire, centered on Persia. The Persians he ruled as a wise and capable leader applauded him, and this legacy continued on in his death as Xenophon, Greek philosopher and student of Socrates, chose Cyrus to name as a model leader in his Cyropaedia. It is said that he was a father figure to his subjects, and his appearance in the Bible as the liberator of the Jews that were held captive in Babylonia shows his reputation as a generous and ideal monarch. Augustus. Augustus, originally known as Gaius Octavius, is accredited with founding the Roman Empire and was the first emperor. He was known as a great military strategist, after defeating his rivals Mark Antony and Marcus Lepidus to take complete control over Rome and its empire. He was also a shrewd politician and helped to transform Rome into the great city it became through the next centuries. As the biographer Suetonius reported him saying, "I found a Rome of bricks, I leave to you one of marble." Hannibal. Hannibal Barca was a military leader who won many victories over the Romans. Raised by his father, he was made to hate Rome from a young age and was constantly engaged in battle against it during his adult life. Said to have slept with his men out in the open and to have gone hungry with them when supplies were low, his troops placed their utmost trust in him. As a result, they followed his orders unconditionally until his assassination in 221 BC. Tutankhamun. Although Tutankhamun was only around 18 or 19 at the time of his death, his status as a great leader was gained through the achievements he made over his 9-year reign. King Tut's main success was reinstalling the traditional Egyptian polytheistic religion upon his ascension, after his father had promoted the worship of only the sun god Aten, and banned worship of any other gods. This new religion was very unpopular within Egypt, and Tutankhamun's decision to reverse it made him a widely acclaimed leader. Hammurabi. Hammurabi was the king of Babylon who conquered all who opposed him and ruled with a code of laws assuring uniformity in justice. While his laws are not the oldest surviving ones and are not particularly good, they are among the earliest examples of a constitution known to man with an influence that is difficult to overstate. After spending the early part of his reign strengthening Babylon's walls and expanding the temples, Hammurabi took advantage of regional political intrigue and shifting alliances to conquer all of southern Mesopotamia, which came to be known as Babylonia, and forced the other power in the area, Assyria, to pay tribute. He is most famous for his code of laws. The code, famously preserved on a monolith shaped like an index finger, shows Hammurabi receiving the law from the god of justice. It goes on to describe 282 situations and prescribes legal action for each. It includes clauses for the presumption of innocence, the opportunity for both parties in a case to present evidence, and is the first known example of the eternally famous dictum, "An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth." Hatshepsut. The second woman confirmed to rule as pharaoh and by far the most consequential, Hatshepsut had to overcome laws and traditions technically barring women from the role. the wife, daughter, and sister of a king. Upon the death of her brother husband, the pharaoh Thutmose II, Hatshepsut used her political cunning, regal background, and religious power to assume the title of pharaoh alongside her young son Thutmose III. Like any good pharaoh, she embarked on a vast building campaign to legitimize her rule. No previous ruler, and perhaps only a few after, oversaw such an extensive series of building projects. Their vast scale suggests the country was particularly prosperous at this time. Among these projects was her tomb, the extremely impressive Changhez. Trade routes that had been disrupted prior to her reign were re-established. This process included an expedition to the mysterious and wealthy land of Punt. She also found the time to send military expeditions to neighboring states. These ventures assured the prosperity which would define the 18th dynasty. As with many pharaohs, there were attempts to erase any trace of Hatshepsut from the historical record. While these failed, they did cause some trouble for archaeologists a few thousand years later, who struggled to determine why some hieroglyphs referred to a queen. Thank you friends for watching this video. This is done for today. If you enjoyed the video then hit the like button and do subscribe the channel.